Welcome to the jungle.
In this video, we're going to be guiding the Diamatti handgun in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now, not only am I going to be giving you guys the best attachments to run to make this the best possible variant of the gun, I'm also going to be showing you guys the best way to get gold, fastest way to get diamond with the gun, and as well as running a strategy in-game that will make sure you get to high rounds with the Diamatti very, very easily. Now, the Diamatti is a 3-round burst pistol with a fast rate of fire and a short delay between bursts. It has increased ammo capacity and a slightly slower reloading speeds than the rest of the pistols, but that's okay because I personally think that the Diamatti is the best handgun in the game. When upgraded, the Diamatti becomes the Diamatti, and those are all the basic facts about the gun, so let's just jump into the attachments. So as if always, if you've been following the camo guides, just skip the optic, especially for the guns that you can't have A attachments on. I personally don't run one just because I would rather use the attachment slot on something that actually matters rather than just a sight, especially when you have perks like Deadshot. So the first one we're going to be jumping into is the muzzle. Now I run the SOCOM Eliminator. This gains increased equipment drop rate and vertical recoil control. You could make a case for the agency suppressor, but the main difference between these two is a massive loss in firepower. And when using this gun on lower rounds, you're going to want the increased firepower so that it's a little bit better before you get it pack-a-punch so you can stay in the spawn room a little bit faster. Now the next thing we're going to be looking at is the barrel, and I personally run the 7.2mm Task Force. This increases the damage range by a ton, as well as 120% bullet velocity increase as well. So the firepower, it just makes this gun unbelievable. So for the third attachment I run, we're going to be looking at the body class, and we look at the Ember sighting point. Now this will increase your salvage drop rate as well as hipfire accuracy. The reason why we want salvage drop rate to be up in this game is so that when you get to the higher rounds, it'll be a little bit easier to upgrade your Diamatti all the way to the max variant. Now the fourth attachment slot that I run is the magazine, and for this one I've chosen the Salvo 30 round fast mag. It'll give you a ton of ammo. It increases 15 rounds in each mag, so it's definitely one that's worthwhile running. So taking a look at the last attachment slot, I would run a handle, specifically the Serpent Wrap. This will help with the ADS time that is brought down by the other attachments that you run. Lastly, you guys could equip a dual wield if you want to substitute it for an attachment. Personally, I wouldn't do this just because even though you'll have something like Deadshot, it'll be easier to get headshots with, but this is the last attachment that you unlock, and typically you probably can get Plague Diamond if you're trying hard with this gun. You can get Plague Diamond before you even get the dual wield pistol. So I would run them if you have them and you've gotten Plague Diamond done, but if not, I would just continue to rep it out with one pistol, especially for some of the later attachments. The next thing we're going to be looking at is a good way to unlock each of the camo challenges. Now the first 3 challenges are very, very simple. It's just time consuming. You need to get 2,500 kills with the Diamatti. You need to get 2,500 critical headshots with the Diamatti, and you need to get 2,500 pack-a-punch kills with the Diamatti. So this one is obviously going to be the most time consuming. These 3 are going to be the most time consuming challenges that you run into when trying to get this gun gold. Honestly, this just comes from playtime and playing the game. It's not too incredibly hard. You probably just have to get to round 30 twice in solos before you can get all 3 of these challenges done. So these ones are more time consuming than hard. The majority of the rest of the ones you could probably get done without even really trying as well. The next one is get 15 elite elims, and this one isn't much of a challenge, especially if you use something like the Ring of Fire. All you have to do is stand inside of it and just mow down any of the bosses that spawn in your path. I would personally rather do this challenge in co-op because in solo you can only get one boss to spawn every 3 rounds, where in co-op, if you're playing with 4 people, you can get 2 to 3 of these guys around, and it'll just make getting the challenge done that much faster. So try to get your friends to help you out with the elite kills. The next one is get 10 kills rapidly 10 times with the Diamatti in zombies. This is super, super easy. All you have to do is just train the zombies up and then get kills. And the one after that is get 3 or more critical headshots rapidly with the Diamatti 25 times in zombies. Again, guys, this is super easy. Just train the zombies up and get Deadshot, and you pretty much can get this done in like 2 rounds. And the last one is get 20 or more consecutive kills with the Diamatti without getting hit 10 times in zombies. Now this challenge is honestly a little bit hard if you're doing this in the higher rounds because the zombies run a little bit faster and you have to deal with the boss zombies and the dogs spawning in and just lunging at you and whatnot. So I would recommend doing this one on the lower rounds if you can. If not, it's not too hard to get done on the higher rounds. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult to do. And my last piece of advice for you guys is to watch the gameplay. I will literally walk you through this entire strategy on how to be good with a Diamatti. I would personally stay in spawn until about round 9 and then start progressing through the map because you can save up a bunch of points. The gun's going to be relatively okay until you get to that point. Obviously, you might have to use Ring of Fire every once in a while, But, you know, I just personally like staying in spawn until almost round 10 just to rack up a bunch of points and then be able to turn everything on at once, as well as get a few of my perks. Now, speaking of that, I wouldn't personally recommend getting perks until maybe about round 15. You can do the casket Easter egg to get free Juggernog. I absolutely do that every single time I play the game. It's super, super easy. All you have to do is shoot the 5 orbs located around the power generator area. It's not crazy, but it's worth it to do. It's a little bit time consuming because you have to sit there and you have to watch them dance for a minute every single time you do it. But for free Juggernog, it's definitely worth it. It's 2,500 points that you could spend on a double upgrade, especially in the earlier rounds. It'll just make killing the zombies that much easier. So what I would do personally is make your way down to power, upgrade your weapon once, put a secondary upgrade on, and then try to upgrade the weapon variant the best you can as you continue to progress throughout the game. Like I said, I wouldn't really focus on points or perks first. I would try to get more points to spend on pack-a-punching the gun a second time. And then after that, I would start buying necessity perks like Juggernog because the zombies do more damage to you as the rounds get higher. I would also recommend getting quick revives so that your speed or that your health regens a little bit faster as well if you're not going to be spending some of your salvage on armor, if you'd rather just save up for the higher tier variants. The next perk I would absolutely recommend getting is Deadshot. It's basically an aimbot to the head if you just tap the left trigger if you're on console, and it'll go immediately to the head pretty much every single time. And because it deals a boost in damage as well, it's very, very nice to have, especially when using a pistol or any sort of gun that you're trying to get gold on. After that, I would recommend buying Stamina Up just so you run a little bit faster than most of the zombies and you won't go down as easy. It's not really a crutch perk because it does make you faster, but it is a very nice luxury to have. After that, I would say run an Elemental Pop just because every time it spins to your specific double upgrade ability, it will make it that much better. And then lastly, I would run Speed Cola. I mean, the gun reloads a little bit slow. It's nothing too crazy, but Speed Cola, like I said, is just going to be a necessity perk. I wouldn't really even recommend picking this up until after you get your gun upgraded all the way. Now, if you play your cards right, you could have this strategy done and have the gun fully upgraded through the Pack-a-Punch, a double upgrade, and all the way to a legendary variant by the early 20s. And then you can probably play until about 30 to 35 before the gun really starts to drop off. And, if you play to that every single game, I know you won't be leveling up the gun as much, but it really helps with the camo grind. If you're not going for the camo grind and you just want to get the attachments, definitely just keep exfilling on round 15. I know it's annoying. I hate how Treyarch decided to make the game this year in terms of leveling up your XP to the sense that, going to round 50, you don't get as much XP as if you were to just exfil on 15 3 games in a row, and you could do it in half the time and just rank up the gun. It doesn't feel right to me. I mean, I guess that they're trying to make it a little bit more balanced so that you can't just play 2 games of zombies and have a gun fully maxed. But at the same time, that was what was kind of fun with zombies for a minute. Everyone was playing it. I think Treyarch needs to wake up and realize that the casuals that usually play multiplayer, everyone's playing zombies this year just because pubs is so sweaty with SBMM. That I think that they're kind of not really missing an opportunity because they have time to fix it and kind of realize that, zombies could be the main feature of this game. Or we could go on the path where they start giving more content to multiplayer and Warzone and zombies gets left behind, which would suck to see. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they just need to wake up and get it moving. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Diamatti guide. I'm sorry it took so long to get out. I have school that I've been wrapping up for this semester. I have work, so I haven't been able to have all the time in the world to edit as well, but I will be streaming tomorrow if this video is up on Wednesday. Then I'll be streaming on Thursday. If it's up on Thursday morning, then I'll be streaming later in the day. You guys can come hang out. Probably going to try and hit around 100 again, and then Saturday we'll definitely be doing a co-op around 100 special. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out.